we are on. Welcome back. I have another Illaoi matchup video. This time we're talking about Fiora. I have Imladris. Is there something
Hello.
else you go by?
Just my name, Tom. If you
Okay,
can.
welcome. I have a Fiora matchup to talk about today. How long have you been playing Fiora?
Ever since the start of season 6, back when,
She got reworked?
yeah, a bit after she got reworked, back when the Hydras you could switch for free, that time was fun.
Yeah, I bet. Um, in terms of matchups, I would say this one is a 10 out of 10 for difficulty for me. Um, is it pretty easy for you?
It's relatively easy, but there's a lot of opportunities where you can just slip up and like throw away your lead. Illaoi's kind of like Darius, where she has a lot of free damage and sustain.
Yeah, true definition of a skill matchup.
Mhm.
I would say runes and masteries, you're always going fervor, right?
Always fervor.
And you're going 18-0-12,
18-0-12, yep. Runic armor is very good for Fiora. Synergizes very well with their build.
the lifesteal.
Yep.
In terms of masteries for Illaoi, what's the scariest one? The Deathfire, the Storm Raiders, or the Grasp?
Storm Raiders, because say you're in a fight and like Illaoi uses her ult and chunks the Fiora for half her health, and Fiora tries to disengage. Illaoi still has the movement speed from Storm Raiders to catch up and say finish the fight or
Yeah.
deal a bit more damage.
I would also say at the same time it's useful as a defensive utility. If you get chunked out as Illaoi, you can run away.
hmm
Fiora has such good chase down capability, especially in a long
Yeah,
lane if you don't.
60% cooldown refunded on Q hit.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
hmm
So this is the rune page that I would, or this is the mastery page I would recommend. I have shown on the screen here. Um, Standard Storm Raiders. For runes, you're taking flat AD.
I think I go 180 quint, 2 attack speed quints, and 80 reds.
If you have the rune page for a custom rune page, this is the one I would recommend. I actually run a whole bunch. I'm running 35 scaling attack damage at level 18.
Uh,
I'm running 10% scaling cooldown, as well as a little bit of mana regen.
yeah,
And
Illaoi's
then,
abilities cost a lot of mana.
since I'm playing like a giant wuss early, and since I'm going all in on the scaling attack damage, I go all in on the scaling armor as well.
That's a lot of scaling.
That's a lot of scaling. Um, this is kind of my personal preference. I've run into habit. Another option you can go is a full-on early armor page with flat attack damage, scaling attack damage, flat armor, and then I run 5% flat cooldown reduction instead of scaling. I think I'm going to switch that out actually.
Flat cooldown, I don't find it to be really good unless you're like Riven.
Right, this is specifically a rune page for fighting Riven.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot more early game than I'm used to. But I have a replay. It's a really embarrassing replay. I did not play so well, but I'm a decent Illaoi player, period. Um, you can see all right on the screen?
Yep.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Um, okay, this is the second time. I think it's just Skype that stops the music from
Weird.
going on the replay. I'm going to play passive as hell. I'm actually just going to sit back and CS level 1.
hmm
You want to talk a little bit about the weak point minigame?
Yeah, so blue side Fiora has an advantage at level 1 because Fiora's passive will always spawn on the left side or the bottom side first.
Like you can
Um,
see.
as shown in the replay. So red side doesn't, it's a slight disadvantage. It's not much. It's like an extra bit of pressure.
And this is kind of where I take some bad trade. She hasn't really shown any aggression yet, so I'm okay with pushing the wave and getting a little bit of a minion lead. But then for some reason I walk down.
Yeah, you usually don't want to open up your passives for her.
I was really expecting, and then of course it spawns directly in front of her.
Yeah. There's a pattern to Fiora's vitals. I don't completely remember it, but if you like remember it, you can pretty much avoid it. There's two patterns, so it's a bit luck based.
Yeah, that one it actually spawned right directly in front of her, and then I lost my flash for it. It was pretty
Yeah,
unfortunate.
generally you will want to wait for like a favorable vital to spawn before you go in. Otherwise, unlucky vitals could happen like that.
Yeah, and then of course because my flash is down, I have my friendly neighborhood jungler.
Jungler, yeah.
So I'm just gonna fast forward a bit. Um, so at this point, I have a longsword in corrupting. She has a really good wave position, and also a jungler.
Yeah,
Um,
you have E, so like no ganks. Okay.
I kind of try to trade back. It's really unfortunate my pink ward dies, and she is still sitting here with the best minion positioning she could ever dream of, even though she's low health.
Yeah.
So I'm betting that Jarvan's gonna go do his topside jungle and then come back. I'm pinging for my jungler to come help me, just push it in, but like I'm pretty screwed here. Like if I
Yeah.
don't push this in, I'm going to lose all of this farm and XP. If I do push it in, I'm gonna get ganked and die again.
Like here.
Like here, screw blast codes. That is all.
Outplay plant.
It's literally a plant that's more beneficial for people who are doing stupid things, or junglers who are ganking.
Junglers who do stupid invades and get out for free.
Yeah. Or like I teleport top and I flank with my TP, and then they turn around and run through the turret to escape. So I know Jarvan's still up here.
Yeah. You can see him on the map. Show a bit there.
My scoreboard disappeared. So at this point, she's got Tiamat and a longsword, and I have boots and a longsword.
I don't know. As my like like my build on Fiora, I generally like to go Phage before Tiamat
Right, gives you a little bit
because
more.
a bit more tankiness and the movement speed is really good.
Hmm.
And Tiamat isn't very gold efficient. It's like 20 AD for 1200 gold. So I don't really like it, and it
Um,
pushes in my lane too when I don't
right.
want to.
I'm gonna just um, return here a little bit and pause it. What I'm looking for to land tentacle grabs, because this skill is ridiculously telecraft.
Yeah.
It's such an easy parry for you. Um, you ever hear like Blitzcrank mains telling you throw the hook when your minion dies?
Mhm.
That's basically what I'm going for here. This Fiora is not particularly good, but this should be an easy parry, right?
Yeah, if she's expecting it, which she should be.
So I'm gonna play. This minion is the one I'm looking for, so I auto it, go for the E, and she doesn't really react. Um, I still am going to get horribly outstatted, I feel like.
Yeah. I don't think
Um,
she had any reason to worry about the spirit because you only had a longsword, so she just backed off.
yeah,
Yeah.
that could
No
be
reason.
good too, because I'm going to be hitting 6 soon. And I'm still expecting Jarvan to be top, so I'm going to try to play like a giant wuss. And then I go and I miss my Eve or something silly. I didn't even have a tentacle nearby that could have swung at it. Like the tentacle position in this replay is not where I want it to be right now. I have a
Yeah.
tentacle here and I want it to be here. So I am trying to bait out her parry, and I'm just gonna rewind this a little bit. She's 6, I'm 5. I want to walk up and get 6 from the minion, even though I don't get the CS. So she's engaging on me. Is there any point in time where you can't parry during your animations?
In the middle of Q and like during an auto attack, I believe.
Okay. Do you have any animation cancels?
Yeah. Q is an animation. Is a auto reset kind of. It's like Talon Q. It's a, it's independent own like timer, so
Okay.
you can auto Q. Auto Q auto. Another one is auto E Tiamat auto.
Okay. And she's got the Tiamat.
Yep.
So she's gonna look to all in me as soon as, excuse me, as soon as I extend here. Um, she's looking for that top weak point. She does the auto E auto, but then she doesn't parry the tentacle grab.
She missed her parry on the potential grab. She was predicting it, but it was too early.
So I'm just gonna slow this down a little bit. So there's the auto of mine. There's the auto E auto. And yeah, the parry is just a little slow, and then I feel like she could have ulted earlier
Yeah, a
because
lot
she
early.
doesn't ult until now.
And she stays in your ult too for some reason.
And then she gets lower than the spirit, so I can just auto the spirit to finish her off.
Yeah. The thing about Illaoi is you really don't want to stay in her ult, no matter how like ahead you are. Honestly.
Right.
Unless you're like 10-0 or something. Wouldn't recommend staying in the ult.
So Ninja Tabi are pretty awesome.
Yeah, and it's probably 12% reduced damage.
Um, what would you be building at this point?
I'd go into Phage and then Black Cleaver because Illaoi builds like as a bruiser, so a bit of armor, and Black Cleaver's armor pen is really good.
Yeah, so there's my secret technique of Illaoi teleport to the overextended bot lane.
Black Cleaver I think is 100% gold efficient without the passive. So with the passive it's over 100% gold efficient, so really nice.
Right.
It's also 20% cooldown.
Which is really important for chaining the Q over
Yeah.
and over and over. There is one thing I want to point out here that she could have done. Not a lot of people know this about counterplay to Illaoi. If you stay near this tentacle and you don't kill it, if it swung at you already once, it won't swing again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So because she killed that tentacle, another one is immediately going to spawn in its place. And then a third one just spawned at that same location. Yeah, she gets the gold for it.
But she has to worry about, getting hit by it.
I don't think she got hit by any of them.
Well, she had to, like, actively think about, like, try to dodge and stuff.
Right.
Something on her mind, you know.
So we're actually pretty even here. I think she still has an item advantage.
Yeah.
I know I have ulti, she has ulti. So at this stage with the current items, what are you looking for to happen?
Honestly, I just poke and wait for my Phage.
Okay. So you would not, if an all-in were to happen, would you just disengage?
I would disengage, because you have Tabi's, there's really no way I don't think I'd be able to win that.
Okay. So there's the late ulti again. Or the late parry.
And then she ults, wastes her ult.
Right. One thing I want to show is you can flash during your cast time of your ultimate in order to surprise people and reposition. So there, I gap closed onto her because I knew she didn't have flash. And I think she's ulting way too late every time.
Yeah, she ults way too late.
I think she actually could have killed me had she back up some more. I think she could have ulted me.
When she went in for the straight here. Yeah.
Because 1, 2, and I would have been less than a third health.
500. Can you click on her before the fight?
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah. You mouse over her passive? Or her ult, either or works. Oh, it doesn't say. Her ult should say how much damage. 30% of her. I know, 17% of your health would have been gone from the ult, plus whatever like damage she gets from her autos. Because the true damage is in addition to her autos.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty.
So you'd have been really low.
And then she's gonna heal for 110.
Yeah. She definitely could have turned that. Either she could have turned it and killed you, or forced you to disengage because you've been too low to tower dive.
Right. I think that's a confidence thing.
Yeah. I used to ult really late on Fiora when I started playing on her. Or not ult at all.
So one thing I'm doing is I'm going all in on my mobility in my build. I am going Trinity Force with Storm Raiders and Ninja Tabi. Like I'm dedicating myself to fighting Fiora. I'm not going to be very useful against Zyra or against Mordekaiser. And that was just a funny Fiora.
Yeah. I think she tried to get the vital.
I do want to show something here on the browser, and that was a while back on the Illaoi subreddit. Somebody posted a video. I should have pulled this up before I started recording. One of the Illaoi mains discovered that you can dance, and the start of the animation of the dance makes it look like you're throwing your E out.
Cheeky.
See if I can find it.
It'd be pretty tilting if you could bait her highest, well, one of her highest cooldown, well, basically
with an emote.
Yeah, with an emote, yeah. 21 seconds at rank 1.
Do you ever max the parry second?
No, never. I feel like in some matchups I should, but I don't really like it.
Wow, this is really old. Nope, that's not it either. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Let's go ahead and finish this up.
She bought
yeah, she bought an Executioner's Calling. What do you think?
I guess it could be good for Illaoi's healing, but I don't think she really needs it. Like, she shouldn't be fighting you at this point.
Does she need to reduce the healing?
Let's see.
Or is this just a matter of parrying the right ability?
It's a matter of parrying the right ability.
I should probably be dead here.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe if she bought something with more AD, as opposed to Executioner, she might have been able to kill you.
That's a good dodge on her on the Q.
Yeah.
And I probably should have just backed off.
She had like 7 autos in there, and you were like 200 health. That could have been. And abilities, yeah, might have been able to kill you. I don't know, I don't think I would buy Executioners against Illaoi. I'd go Executioners against like Vlad or Swain top.
Yeah. I feel like it makes you pretty squishy.
Yeah.
I definitely build it occasionally against a Vladimir or a Swain. I think in this stage of the team fighting, Illaoi's a little bit stronger than Fiora in a 5v5.
Fiora is really bad in team fight situation. I find most of the time I just push with her.
And I think
because
at this point I decided that I'm never gonna 1v1 her.
yeah, she's like the queen of 1v1ing.
So I'm just gonna play with my Twitch because my Twitch is really strong.
Yeah.
This is a really, it starts getting into a really clown fiesta situation.
Many ranked games devolve like to that. I
Yeah.
find.
I'm gonna rewind on this. I want to get your opinion. If I let Twitch kill Ash here, do you think I'm dead?
Uh, no, I don't think so. She didn't have enough damage to
Alright.
kill you.
I'm a
But
dirty kill stealing thief.
it really doesn't matter.
This Jarvan was absolutely persistent.
My god.
Yeah, and then Yi just starts cleaning up over and over and over. So I'm sitting on Trinity Force Tabi. She's sitting on Ravenous Hydra Executioners.
I don't know. I wouldn't go Ravenous if I was behind. I'd rather go Black Cleaver because it gives like 400 health.
Mm-hmm.
I'd only go Ravenous if I was snowballing. Like Ravenous first. Because Black Cleaver and Ravenous is generally core.
Right. Morgana
Don't-
Binding lasted a year.
Don't listen to the Triforce Fiora users.
No?
No. There's like two factions within the Fiora mains. There's the Black Cleaver ones and there's the Triforce ones.
You know, there's that in the Illaoi Reddit too. There's E max people and there's Q max people. And Q is like 80% of your damage. And E is your long duration, high, high impact skill. So it increases the amount of damage you do when you have somebody tethered, but you need your Q damage for poke, farm, and everything else. But this is actually one matchup where an Emax is okay.
Yeah, because then your cooldown will be lower than her parry, so you could have it more often.
Right. I think I went Q-Max this matchup, but it's definitely an option, especially if somebody like Aurelia or Fiora likes to jump on your bones every single time they can. And then I think I go into Steraks here. How good is Steraks against Fiora?
It gives extra health. So, actually, I don't think that the shield doesn't factor into her ult, so it gives you a bit more defense against her like her ult damage.
This is why
Like,
I'm
say
an
she-
idiot. We knew every single one of them was down here. We knew they were in that bush. And I'm cocky, and I walk right in, I'm like, I'm just gonna ulti and go ham, and I just get instantly blown up.
Feels bad.
You're looking a little green.
Yeah, that's why I don't really like Fiora team fighting. She just dashes in and you only have one parry, and if they have a lot of CC abilities, you just get locked down.
Yeah, would you
can't
be
really
split
split.
pushing instead?
Yeah, definitely.
Red team double kill. Red team has slain the dragon. Ace.
Generally, Fioras who team fight, they build a bit tankier.
Yeah, Camille's kind of the same way. You would rather have, like, Titanic and Dead Man's Plate on her instead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Titanic isn't good on Fiora anymore.
No?
No, they took off, I think it was 15
Much
AD.
attack damage.
Yeah, and they changed Fiora's scalings, or they increased their scalings, took out her base, so you need the AD for the scaling.
What about Steraks on Fiora as like
Um,
a second or third item?
I've never tried it, but Steraks, I don't know how good Steraks is as an item.
I find it particularly useful. There's a couple of Illaoi mains who build it first item every game, all game.
Mm.
Master Yi just
Red team
having
double
16
kill.
kills in a Rage Blade. But
Blue team's
holy
turret has
crap,
been
I got
destroyed.
stomped early game.
Yeah, if your
Blue team's turret has
early
been
early game is a
destroyed.
bit strong. Well, depending on matchup, it can
Blue
be
team's
weaker
inhibitor has
compared
been
to others.
destroyed.
It could be stronger.
Hmm.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Alright, I think that's all I have. I'm
Inhibitor has
definitely a
been
broken record at this
destroyed.
point when I say play safe, level 1.
Rampage.
Oh, this tilted me because I'm just, Lux's W is up, Morgana's shield is up, Twitch's heal is up. They just all let me die.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
One thing to note for Fiora is that her first E and her W is auto attack speed slow. But I
Yeah,
don't. That doesn't really matter for Illaoi because she has an auto attack reset in her W.
yes, but her attack speed is already so low in the first place. It makes it very difficult to do auto Ws.
Hmm. True.
But alright, I think that's going to be about it. Hopefully you never get to the late game point where you have to fight a Black Cleaver, Ravenous Hydra, Bloodthirst, or Ninja Tabi Fiora in the late game. I'm not sure there's very much that can beat it at that point when you know how to use your parry.
Yeah.
But alright, I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you said you didn't have a Twitch link or anything, right?
Nope.
Alright. Well, if you have any questions, I found you on the Fiora mains subreddit as well as the Discord.
Hmm.
So, have a good night. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.